Been here before. Welcome, welcome. I love to see you back. If this is your first time, I am ADHD Money Coach B. I work and I talk about mental health as it relates to your money. I help the 4 times exceptional, gifted Black women with ADHD shift from feeling financially frustrated to financially unfuckwittable. If you want to feel financially unfuckwittable this year, if you're going into the year like I'm not about to have life and it's stressing me out no more, I want to feel financially unfuckwittable, go ahead and put a 1 in the comments. If you want to feel financially unfuckwittable, put a 1 in the comments, okay? If you're in here like, I want to feel financially unfuckwittable, but I'm not a gifted Black woman with ADHD. I'm just a Black woman. We want you here too, okay? So we call our neurotypicals, our non-ADHD people in here, our budgeting besties. And if you have ADHD, we call you budgeting baddies. Spelled just like my name, BADHDIES, okay? If you are a budgeting bestie, put bestie in the comments. If you are a baddie, put baddie in the comments. I want to know who's in the room. Hey, hey, hey. How you doing, Black is Beautiful? Welcome, welcome. Are you a bestie or a baddie? Tell me in the comments. Are you a bestie or are you a baddie? I'm well. I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm tired. I was supposed to be on live a good while ago, but we had some family emergencies, and so I had to cross the water and come back, and I'm a little off schedule. But I thank y'all for turning on your notification bell so that you can join whatever time I end up going live. Thank you for showing up. And let me make sure I'm following you. If I'm not, yeah, I'm already following you. Welcome back. So if you have been following me all 3 days, you're a baddie. Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So Black is Beautiful. I don't know if you were here the first couple of days. Were you here on day 1 and day 2 of the challenge? Were you here on day 1 and day 2 of the challenge? No. Okay. So we are doing the 12 days of financial self-care. My goal is for you guys to leave this challenge having done some things and put some things into place so that you're going to the year feeling a lot less stressful and having systems in place to stay less stressed in regards to your finances. So on the first day, we talked about boundaries and establishing boundaries, figuring out what boundaries you need in your life, whether it's with other people or with yourself. I gave the people who attended that day some prompts for them to go home to figure out where they were feeling uncomfortable in their finances, to figure out where they were feeling resentment in their finances, to figure out where people were overstepping, where they were overstepping, so they can figure out where they needed boundaries. And then I gave everyone some scripts on how to communicate those boundaries with others in a way that felt loving, in a way that didn't feel like you were rejecting them, but you were honoring what you needed because you love them. And then I gave you guys the assignment of actually establishing a boundary, at least one boundary. Yesterday was day 2 of the challenge, and we talked about your peace of mind fund. We talked about having enough of a cushion that gave you peace between pay periods. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck, regardless of how much money you make. You make it 6 figures, 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now. Okay. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're feeling like I'm working way too hard and I'm way too smart to still have not much left over, you're not alone in that feeling. And it's not allowing you probably to enjoy your paycheck. That very first prompt up here, do you feel like you're getting to enjoy your paycheck? If you're paycheck to paycheck, probably not, because as soon as you get the money, it's all gone. And so one of the things that I challenged you guys to do yesterday was to start working on building a peace of mind fund. You said nope. Okay, so we're on the same page. So what that was about, guys, and I'm just giving you a brief recap, is I gave you guys some milestones on how to build a peace of mind fund, where to begin, help you figure out whether or not you were going to start with just $100 as a cushion, or you're going to start with 1 month as your peace of mind fund. And some people who are looking for even more security are looking to save 3 months, but you need to start somewhere. And the idea of this cushion is one of the things that I shared with you guys yesterday is you're not calling this. One of the first things I asked you guys to do was to change what you're calling this. Most people think of this as an emergency fund, and I do not like that name. And I'm going to share again why I said I don't like that name, especially because I'm over here in two places, and I didn't go live on Facebook and Instagram yesterday, so I want to make sure they get a chance to hear what y'all heard yesterday. Who wants to save for an emergency? Not me. Right? That doesn't sound exciting. Who wants to save for a rainy day? That doesn't feel inspiring, right? The idea of an emergency fund or a rainy day fund, it does not feel like something that you want to look forward to. It feels like something you dread happening. And we often don't save for it because we feel like, I'm just going to hope that things don't go wrong. I'm not going to save. I'm just going to hope that things don't go wrong. God, please just don't let my tire blow. Please don't let whatever happen, right? You're just praying that things don't go wrong so you can temporarily not save. And it's not because you don't want to save. It's because you're looking at your priorities and you're like, I can't afford to do this right now. That's what we tell ourselves because we're hoping that emergency doesn't happen. We're hoping that a rainy day doesn't come. We don't look forward to that. Putting money in that account doesn't feel good. Even when you put the money in there, it doesn't feel good because it feels like I'm putting money in this account for something bad to happen, right? And so the first thing I challenged you to do first was to change what you're calling it. Change it from an emergency fund to a peace of mind fund. Call it something that inspires you because personally, I can't wait to put money in peace of mind. Like I'm putting money, this is for my peace of mind. This makes me feel good. I look forward to that. Maybe you'll come up with a different name for your savings accounts. But guys, the point I want to make to you is words are powerful. The language we use to describe something means something. So when you say I have an emergency fund, we know that's the intention of it, but you don't look forward to that. But baby, I can't wait to put my money in peace of mind. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but like, this gives me peace of mind. I can't wait to put money in there. Okay. So I challenge you guys to, first of all, create an account, create a name that makes you excited to put money into it, and then decide your peace of mind number. I talked about the cushion that most people talk about would make them feel good. Most people, after they pay their bills, they don't really have anything left over. Most people don't have $500 for an emergency. And I actually did a survey with some women, and I talked about this yesterday, that most women who I surveyed said that if they had at least $500 left over after they paid all their bills, it would give them a lot more peace, right? They're not saying they only want 500 in his account. They're just saying like from paycheck to paycheck, there's like really not a lot left over. So there's a worry that anything could go wrong and it disturbs their peace. They feel stressed and frustrated. Gosh, if anything goes wrong, if a bill comes in a little bit higher or comes in a little bit earlier, if my child comes home with a field trip permission slip and I got to pay $50, like it's going to stress me out a little bit. It's not going to have me feeling very peaceful between now and the next payday. And so having a cushion of at least $500 from paycheck to paycheck would make them feel a lot better. For some people, they're like $100 will make me feel better. Like I just want it to not be nothing after I pay my bills. I want to have some sort of cushion. So your peace of mind fund is a cushion. How much do you have left over after you pay your bills? So ideally with my clients, I work with you guys on building a month ahead fund. And I talked about that yesterday. We want to be a month ahead of our bills because that allows us to confidently put ourselves on auto pay. And when we're on auto pay, bills get paid on time. Credit is improving. Okay. That's happening. It's a system. It's working for us. Right. But we don't feel confident putting ourselves on auto pay when we don't have enough extra in that account. We don't have enough of a buffer. So I want you guys to do that assignment. If you didn't do that assignment yesterday, please do that assignment tonight. Choose an account, nickname the account, decide on the dollar amount that you want to start with. If your starter peace of mind cushion is $100, when you reach that cushion, now reassess that cushion and figure out, is it giving you enough peace or do you need to bump that up to another number? Again, ideally your target. Hey, thanks for hitting the like button. I see you over there on Facebook. Ideally, your target is 1 month at least, but that's your better goal. Set a good goal of something actionable and easy for you to reach as your initial goal. On Facebook, if you're in the comments, tell me what city you are watching from. We've got a prompt in here, and I would love for you guys to answer this question. Do you feel like you get to enjoy your paycheck? Do you feel like you get to enjoy your paycheck? So today's topic, we're moving to today's topic. And yesterday's topic I said was about the Peace of Mind Fund. Today's topic is money dates. It is Bay Day. B-A. Oh, I meant to change my shirt. Dang, I wanted to wear my Bay Day shirt. Bay Day, B-A-E Day. It is before anything else. Pay attention to your money. Before anything else, move that money. That's what it stands for me, Bay Day. Bay Days are your money dates. Think about your relationship, guys. In your real life, if the only time you talk to your bae, to your loved one, to your man, if the only time your man checked in with you was when something popped up, when they needed something from you, would you have a really strong relationship? Would you have a strong relationship if the only time that your man checked in with you, talked to you, planned with you, asked you about your needs, asked you about your goals, asked you what you need to feel better? Would you have a good relationship? You probably wouldn't, right? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have a good relationship with them. You need to be intentional the same way that you're intentional with your romantic relationships about spending time, planning, thinking through, communicating what your needs are, adjusting when things are off. You need to be doing the same thing with your money. People who go around talking about, I don't care about money, money's not important to me, will stay broke. Because how long do things you don't care about stay around? If your husband was walking around talking about, I don't care about you, would you stay? Things you don't care about, you don't take care of. I know that they throw around this idea of like money is the root of evil, but it is the love of money, not money itself. You should care about money because it is important in how you get through life. The Bible mentions money, I think, over 300 times. It's an important aspect of life. So we need to care about money. And when you care about something, you tend to it. So you're going to have money dates. So what your assignment is going to be today, and I'm going to get into it before I get into it, I want to ask you guys a question. How often do you check in with your money currently? Guys, there's no wrong answer. So if the answer is I avoid looking at my accounts, say that. Nothing is going to change if you're not able to first be honest with yourself about where you are. So this is not about judgment. This is about self-awareness. Your options are A, every payday like clockwork. B, only when bills are due. Or C, I avoid looking at my accounts. Which one are you? Are you A, every day, every payday like clockwork, I check in with my money? B, only when bills are due? Or C, I avoid looking at my accounts? Drop a number in the comments. I said a number, a letter. Y'all know what I meant. Drop in the comments. Hey, anybody who is just joining, I'm going to reset the room. I'm ADHD Money Coach B. I talk about mental health as it relates to your money. I help the 4 times exceptional gifted Black women with ADHD shift from feeling financially frustrated to feeling financially unfuckwittable. Over the next 12 days, we are talking about financial self-care. My goal is that in the next 12 days, you will take at least one action every single day to bring you. Thank you so much for that, heart me. And over the next 12 days, you will take at least one action that will give you more peace, less stress in your finances. First couple of days, I gave you an assignment on day 1 to establish a boundary or to figure out what boundaries you need in your life. Day 2, I gave you the assignment to create a peace of mind account, to give it a nickname that's empowering, and to decide what your peace of mind number is. At a minimum, your goal was to decide on what the number was. Today is day 3, and my goal for you guys today is to have an established money date with yourself. I want you guys to decide on a date that you will be checking in with your money regularly. Okay? The same way that you want your man to have regular dates with you so you guys don't fall apart, right? You don't want your money to fall apart from you, so you need to make sure you're having dates with it. Drop a sad face if you've been treating your money like a situationship. And drop a heart if you've been treating your money like your husband. If it's a situationship and you barely check in, I need y'all to be honest right now and put a sad face in the comments. Okay? But if you've been consistently checking in, go ahead and put a heart in the comments. Because being for real, I know we out here ghosting bank accounts. Only calling when we need something. Now we want to look at the numbers because we need something, right? We're not looking in when we don't need something. We looking in only when we need something, right? Letting Friday paycheck slip before we even get to Monday. How many people have been there? Get paid on Friday, the weekend hit, we outside, Monday wrap around, paycheck already gone. And then we wondering why our money isn't showing up for us. Okay. So here's the thing about any good relationship. It's not about having time. It's about timing. You need to do certain things before your paycheck hits and when it hits. Your money needs you before the weekend plans hit, before a Target trip happens, before the let's go get brunch text messages, before you hop in a TikTok shop, before Black Friday sales, Christmas sales, or whatever sales it is. Just like anything else, you would not let anybody interrupt your date night with your man. Don't allow anybody to interrupt date night with your money. So when you guys decide and set a date night, make it non-negotiable. I'm with Bay. And we told you in this context, Bay stands for before anything else. Okay? Before anything else. It's payday, it's Bay Day. Okay? I'm going to get to y'all, but before anything else, I'm going to check in with my money because I'm in a relationship with my money. We got a healthy relationship, or we had a toxic relationship, but we're working on a healthy relationship. So we're going to make sure that we connect. So first of all, what you need is implementation time. This is a real love language, y'all. So I want you guys to set up your routine right now. I want you to pull out your calendar because this is activity. I told you we're going to be doing stuff during these next 12 days. This is not going to be me talking at you. I actually want you to do stuff during the live, and I want you to do homework. So that way you can come back tomorrow with questions. So I want you to pull out your calendar right now. And I want you to decide when your Bay Day is going to be. I personally like Bay Days to be on paydays. I just got paid. Before anything else, I want to move that money. So for me, on payday, I'm making sure that all the transfers happen. I want to move that money out of sight, out of mind. Go ahead and move that money so I can't spend it. So for me, Bay Days are on paydays. Another alternative to payday is I like self-care Sundays as another Bay Day. Because I like to start the week strong. So I like to start the week like being able to plan and think about what needs to happen. So I like to look at my money twice during the week. But for some people, they're like, I just really want to touch it when I have money. And that's on payday. So if you get paid every other week, then your Bay Days that you're going to put in your calendar are every other whatever day. If you get paid every other Friday, I want you to put Bay Day on your calendar right now. And I want you to set an alarm, an alert to remind you that this is what this is. Okay. On that day, I want you to set that alarm, if you can, before you even go to work. Because you got paid, you woke up to money, right? So that's a day you maybe wake up an hour earlier than normal. Because I said before anything else, right? That means before your job. And I want you to have your little quiet time before the house is crazy, before the kids wake up, before anything else. I want you to move that money. I want you to look at that money and move it around. Move it. Okay. Now, here's what you're going to do on your Bay Day. The first 30 minutes of payday is your money date It's non-negotiable. On your first 15 minutes, this is the protection phase. You're going to be doing things that protect your money in this phase. Okay? So you're going to move money into your peace of mind fund. And you guys, if you were here yesterday, you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, I suggest that you attend every session. So everything builds on the other. If you don't know what it is, keep coming back. Okay. Ask me your questions when we get to Q&A. You're also going to make sure that the money that needs to be in your bill pay account is transferred. So we moving money, day. Before anything else, moving money. We're going to make sure we transfer money to our sinking funds. I like to call those pop-up expenses because, again, I think words matter, and I don't like the term sinking. Makes me feel like you're depleting. But I do like the term pop-up expenses because I feel like that accurately reflects what happened. Like things just be popping up, and I want money. So when it pop up, I got money for it. And then you're going to move money into your multiply. Okay. Multiply, we haven't gotten to that yet, but that's basically money that you're saving for the purpose of investing. So you may not have invested it yet, but you're moving money aside so that it's available for you to invest. That's going to be important because you're not going to be able to save your way to wealth. You have to be able to invest. What you invest in, that depends on what you're comfortable with. It could be stocks. It could be anything, right? Investments can look like a lot of things. Investments can look like investment in your education. Investments could look like investment in a career coach. But you're going to move money into your multiply account. So that's the first thing you're going to do in the first 15 minutes. You're going to just move the money into those places. Now, if you're not certain how to organize or what type of accounts you should have and for what, I would encourage you to invest into my budgeting workbook right here. Actually, let me flip this camera mirror over so that you can see it properly. Can y'all see that right? Is it reading right? Financially Unfuckwittable Budgeting Workbook, where I talk about the different accounts that you should have and what you're using them for. But you can also DM me if you have any questions. And then the next 15 minutes is your planning phase. So in the first 15 minutes, you're protecting. Second 15 minutes, we're planning. What you're going to do here is you're going to calculate what's left. So how much money is left over after you have moved money into your peace of mind fund, move money into bills, move money to cover your sinking funds, and you move money into investing. What's left over? Okay. You need to figure out what that number is. You got to know what you're working with. And then you're going to plan out the next 2 weeks with that money, what you want to do with it. This is the fun money. This is the money that you're going to use to enjoy the next couple of weeks until your next payday. Now that you have made a decision about where you want that money to go, this is important. You need to set boundaries and respect the relationship. So if you said this is what you want to do with it, what boundaries do you need to put into place for you to honor that? That might mean that if this is what you want to do with it, you have a dollar amount that says, okay, if somebody asks to borrow money from me, only this amount is available for that. Once I hit that number, I ain't got it. I don't care what my bank balance says. This is what I have decided I have available for giving. That's the boundary I have, because if I violate that boundary, it doesn't allow me to honor the plan that I created. And how do you feel when your man makes plans with you and then keeps canceling on you? Keeps changing up the plans, keeps putting somebody else before you. It don't make you feel good, right? And that's what you're doing with your money. When you say this is the plan and then you switch up on them at the last minute. We're going to treat our money like we want our men to treat us, like a priority. You do what you say you're going to do. I don't trust you because every time you tell me you're going to do something, you don't do it. That's how your money feeling right now. Okay. So we have calculating what's next, plan for the next 2 weeks and set clear expectations, and then set some boundaries. Okay. Step 2 is I want you to create a money date atmosphere. Don't just have this money date and have it be a stressful thing. If you're not used to looking at your money and looking at your money makes you feel like anxious to begin with, and that it doesn't make you feel good, I need you to be intentional about making your money date something you look forward to. So here's some things that I do. I play some music, some lo-fi music, usually some jazz, something that makes me feel really good about myself. Or when I'm feeling like I need to have like this aggressive, like I need to like hype myself up, I might be playing some OT Genesis getting to the money. I don't know. Getting to the money. Everybody mad. Hey, that's what I do. That's me. I don't know what you do, but that's what I do. Something else I like to do is I light incense. There's something about aromatherapy and smells that just make me feel more relaxed and beautiful, and it feels like self-care. It just gives, oh, you take good care of yourself. So I'll lit some incense, or I'll flip my oil infuser over so I'm getting those scents, and I feel like it's a day where I'm taking care of myself. So now I'm in the mindset of I'm taking care of myself. Now, when I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at the numbers from a self-care energy. Okay. Choose a special spot where you want to do this. Have all your things in place that you need for it. If you like a nice cup of tea or a cup of coffee, put yourself on D&D, close the door, put a sign up, D&D. It's money date day time. Put a sign on your door. Your kids know not to bother you while you're doing your money date. I'm on a date with my money right now. And get your tracking method out so you can begin to actually track your progress and what's happening. So you can actually see if you're making improvements, if there's some areas you need to improve, where the opportunities are. So here's your homework for tonight. I want you to set payday alerts for the next 4 paydays. Okay? So I already had you look at your calendar and decide what date you want to use for paydays. How many have done that? How many have done that already? Did you choose your payday? Is it going to be a certain day of the week, day of the month? Is it on payday? Is there a time? Did you decide when your payday is? For those of you guys who are just joining, paydays are before anything else. Move that money. These are your money date days. What dates are you going to be looking at your money? Did you decide on your payday? If you have, I want you to open up your calendar right now. Do this while we're live. Then your homework will already be done. Don't it feel good? Like, you remember being in school and getting your homework done in class? And then you come home and your mother be like, did you do your homework? Turn the TV off. And you be like, already done. Okay? I want y'all to leave here with your homework already done. So when you come in live tomorrow and I say, did you do your homework? You could probably be like, already done. I want you to go ahead and mark your paydays. Write your money date days on your calendar right now while we're live. Now, if you don't have your calendar, I'm going to give it to you as a homework assignment. And you know, in my stories, I'm going to ask you, did you do your homework? And I'm expecting you to pop in my story and say, yes, you did. Or not yet, but I'm do it immediately. But I want you to do it right now while we're live. So that way your homework will already be done. And then I still want you to go in my stories tomorrow and say, yes, I did my homework, because you did it while we was live. Okay. Next, I want you to write your money relationship intention. I want you to write what kind of relationship you want to have with your money moving forward. Think about this as a relationship. Again, what kind of relationship do you want to have with your husband? You know, how many times do we goal set and we're like, I want a man who treats me like this, and I want to be like this in a relationship. You have a clear vision of how you want that relationship to look and feel. I want you to act like your money is a person with feelings. That money has feelings. What kind of relationship do you want to have? How do you want your money to treat you? And how do you want to start treating it? How do you want to treat your relationship? So your second homework assignment for tonight is I want you to write your money relationship intention. Are we having comfortable communication? Like, what type of relationship? Think about it. How do you want to communicate with? How do you want to handle? How do you want your money? How do you want to treat your money? And how do you want it to treat you? So that's your second. So your first homework assignment for tonight is to schedule the alerts for your next 4 paydays. The second homework assignment is to write your money relationship intention. And then your third assignment for your payday is to create your personal date ritual checklist. Okay. So that means, what does your ritual look like? I want you to take the time and think, okay, on my bay days, I make my tea, I light my incense, I play my music, I get my budgeting workbook out, I get my receipts out my purse, I log into my account. I want you to write it all down. This is especially important when you have ADHD, because we would love to remember, but we're not. Checklist gives you that sense of accomplishment that I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and you know you haven't forgotten anything. You know that you have everything that you need for your bay day. So like I got my little organizer here, and all my receipts for the month go into here. So when I sit down to do my bay day, I'm pulling them out and I'm reconciling. So I've got my tools. I've got my budgeting workbook. I've got my little receipt hog organizer thing. And every single night, I take the receipts out of my wallet. I use a little receipt hog app to capture those, and then I drop them in here. Okay? That's a part of my ritual, but your ritual might look different. So your assignment for tonight is to write down your ritual. Where are you moving the money? So if on your date night, you're doing your transfers, you're moving X amount of dollars to what account? You're moving your bill money, you're moving your peace of mind money, you're moving your pop-up savings, and you're moving your multiply money. All right? You want to make sure that's on your checklist. Okay? Okay. For those of you guys who are just joining the conversation and don't know what we're talking about the 12 days of financial self-care. Each day I am giving you a new tip, a tip that you can put into motion the same day, so that way your financial systems are a lot less stressful and are giving you more peace, so that you are not self-sabotaging. You're in a cycle of success instead of a cycle of self-sabotage. We are learning how to turn our money relationship into a committed relationship and not a situationship by activating Bay Days, where you move your money before anything else. If you guys have enjoyed this live, double tap for me. Send me some hearts up. Let me know that you have enjoyed this conversation, that this has been helpful to you. If you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask. I am opening this up for Q&A. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. You can ask them in the comments, or I will pull you up on the panel. If you want to come onto the panel and just verbally ask your questions, you can. Now is the time. I want to remind you that coaching with me normally is not free. These are free sessions. So if you have been wanting to book with me and you cannot afford coaching, I expect you to show up to these lives every day, because it is free. I am not charging you, and I'm not gatekeeping any information. I'm sharing you with all the information that I would normally share with the clients, all the information that you would have to pay for in a budgeting workbook. I'm sharing it with you in these lives. All that I ask is that you show up with your notepads, your pens, taking notes, you're doing the assignments, you're asking questions, and you're engaging. That's it. It's free. So if you have been wanting to work with me for a long time, the next 12 days is your time. Okay? That's my Christmas gift to all of you. As I'm showing up every single night, I want you guys to show up every night, and I want you guys to ask questions when you have questions. Don't be shy in these comments, because I promise you I don't bite. Any questions? Going once? Double tap if you got questions. All right. As I close up, I want you guys to remember, real relationships need real time and a real strategy. Your money needs you at the right time, which is payday mornings. They need you for the right duration, about 30 minutes of focused time, and with the right intention. You need to have a protection. Where do those balloons come from? I had some balloons pop up on my Facebook Live, and I don't know how that happened. You need to have the right intentions. What is your protection plan? Okay. And for those of guys who are like, well, what are protection moves? When we talked about protection moves versus planning moves, you want to think of your protection moves as your relationship non-negotiables. Okay. Non-negotiables. These have to happen no matter what. And those things that should be non-negotiable is moving money into your peace of mind fund. Because remember, this is your security. Even if it's only $5 a pay period that you're moving into that peace of mind fund, that should be one of those non-negotiables. Bill money, because bills got to get paid, right? Sinking funds, because life is gonna life. And if you act like it's not gonna happen, I promise you things are gonna pop up that's gonna set you back, and you're gonna feel like, why do I even try? And your savings goals, because you only live once and I want you to enjoy the present. And also because I want you to be able to multiply so you can build wealth and not feel trapped and you feel like you have choices in life. Those are the 4 non-negotiables. Your planning moves. This is where you're planning quality time. Again, you're calculating what's left. You're calculating what you're planning out what you want to do for the next 2 weeks with what you have. Meaning, are you asking yourself, are there any upcoming social events coming? Any grocery needs? Any regular spending patterns? I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied. Regular spending patterns that I need to think about. Any special occasions coming up? That's what you're thinking about. And something else, and we'll talk about this maybe in another live when we're talking about how to really think way far in advance so you're not blindsided by what's coming up in the next 2 weeks. When we talk about planning for pop-up expenses a little bit more effectively. And then you're setting boundaries. Your money needs to know what its limits are. What's the max that you're going to spend in these categories? What's the max you're going to spend on groceries? What's the max you're going to spend eating out? What's the max you're going to spend on whatever? How will I enforce these boundaries? Because if you were here for the conversation on day 1, we talked about boundaries. We said boundaries is a line in the sand, but a line in the sand can easily be crossed. Systems is like a gate that protects you, that makes it hard for you to violate your boundaries. So if you decide I'm only going to spend $100 a week on groceries, I am going to put a system in a place of only using cash, where I'm withdrawing cash as my system to keep me from going over that boundary. A debit card, I could easily swipe more than what I said I was going to do. Even though I said that's my boundary, I can easily violate a boundary of $100 with a debit card. But with cash, it is what it is. That's my system. So you want to make sure you put systems into place for the boundaries you're setting on your money plan. So you want clear numbers for different categories. You want to know what's okay and what's not okay. Okay. And that's it. Any questions, guys? Did I cover everything thoroughly for you guys? You guys know your homework assignments. You guys going to be in my stories tomorrow. I'm expecting you guys to say, yes, I did my homework. Yes, I have a Bay Day scheduled. By now, you should have some boundaries. You should have a peace of mind fund, and you made your first deposit into it, even if it was just $5, right? And now you got a money date. Y'all, look how much y'all have already done in these last 3 days. Y'all are making progress. These little things make a difference. Hey, Hype Man Group. These little things make a difference. Y'all should have 3 things done already. This is day 3. Hey, Shishi. Thanks for joining. I'm going to make sure I follow you back. All right. That is it for tonight. Tomorrow, I will be back again doing Bay Day. I don't know why I never have the topic up, but I will make sure that I have the topic in my post. I always share a post or something in my stories and relate to the topic so you have an idea. Here's the thing. For tomorrow, when you come into the live, you're going to attempt to execute some of this homework assignment I gave you today, right? You're going to attempt it, and maybe you will struggle to get some of it done. And the reason why you might struggle, you may do it with ease, but if you find yourself struggling, I want you to write down what you're struggling with. Is it something mental or emotional? Did you have a moment where you told yourself something in your brain and then you found yourself paralyzed and then you couldn't take action? You didn't take action. I want you to write down exactly what you were saying to yourself or what you were feeling that made you not take a step. Did you tell yourself, I don't have time, the kids, I got to do X, Y, and Z, I'm not going to have time to do this? Did you tell yourself, I'll do it later, and you never got to it? I want you to be able to recognize the obstacles that keep sabotaging your progress. I want you to know what it is. If it's a technical issue and you're like, oh, I tried to open the account, but I was able to open it, but I can't make the deposit until tomorrow. That's a technical thing. It's not easy. Or I tried to do it, but I really wasn't sure what type of account I should open. I had questions. This one had an APY of this and this had an APY of that, and I didn't know which one was better. Then that's a technical question. I want you to bring those questions to me. When we are on live tomorrow, I want you to share with me both the emotional and mental obstacles you face. Excuse me, so I can help work you through those. And if it's a technical obstacle, I want you to share that too, so I can help you understand how to do something that you're stuck on doing technically. We on the same page? If we're on the same page, go ahead and give me a double tap on the screen so I know that you guys are listening. I see you in the live, but I need to know that you are listening. I know that you're here, but I want to know that you're here. You know what I'm saying? Double tap the screen and send some hearts up for me. All right. That is it for tonight. I will see y'all tomorrow, probably somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock. Make sure if you're not following me, you go ahead and hit the follow button. Make sure if you're not following me already that you go ahead and hit the follow button and then hit the notification bell so that you know when I go live. Because if it's like tonight and I go live a lot later than planned, I still want you to be able to come in and get this information and not miss me. So go ahead and follow me, hit the notification bell, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Good night.